Help yourself too, sweetie.
Are you trading DeAndre Jordan?
Excuse me? This is V, my assistant.
I heard the last coach wanted to.
So nice to talk with you guys about this project. I mean, we've got clipped. It tells the story of what is really going on behind the scenes of the Los Angeles Clippers. So, Jacki, if you would like to start, I would love to know what made you all want to get involved with this show.
Well, with me, I was riveted by this story when it happened. I'm a news junkie. I read about 10 newspapers a day. And this was so fascinating to me, being a foreigner and not knowing a lot about basketball, but then seeing this scandal erupt. It was fascinating. And then years later, meeting Gina Welsh, who was the showrunner. And Ed and I both fell in love with her. She's a brilliant writer, and it was a thrill and an honour to be able to play this woman who's quite complex.
And Ed, what about you?
Pretty much the same thing. I got the script, and because of the nature of my role, I was a little hesitant, to be honest with you, at the beginning. I thought I would never have envisioned anybody thinking I would play this part, and I was flattered, and then I was also hesitant, and had lunch with Gina, and I just said, why not? Actors should take chances. And so I just said, let's do it.
And then I want to bounce off what Ed said about actors taking chances, because that really resonates for me. V was a very thrilling character to play. She's bold and she's unapologetic, but she can be vulnerable. She's so complicated, and that's like a giant meal for an actor to eat. It was very exciting for me, and that's what drew me to it. But also the way the writing in the show, the way the story was told, the way that V was presented, and the way the complexities and the themes were presented was really thoughtful and nuanced and just top tier, so I had to be part of it.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't agree more. I've seen the show and it is so well put together. And Ed, going back to what you were saying, you're playing Donald Sterling. He was banned from the NBA for life. So what is it like to portray a real person who's actually done and said these things as opposed to a character who is purely fictional?
Well, because it's not as hard as you might think, because it's based on a true story, of course. But we do take literary liberties with telling the story behind closed doors, a fly on the wall sort of thing. Some of it, by that very nature, has to be fictional. We're not trying to. I don't know Donald Sterling. I never met him, so that takes a bit of pressure off you. You just, once you get into the script, and you're going scene by scene with your fellow actors, it becomes easier.
There is also a very complicated dynamic between your guys' characters to talk about. Jacki, can you give some insight into Shelley's headspace when she's faced with what is happening between her husband and V?
Well, Shelley has been putting up with his indiscretions and affairs for years and years, something that I couldn't identify with. I'd kill him. But she, they've been high school sweethearts. The only man she's ever had. They have this empire worth billions of real estate in Los Angeles. You drive around Los Angeles, there are so many sterling buildings. So there's the money to keep her there. There's the loyalty going back. And I think there's affection there too. So she puts up with a lot. And he's kind of adorable in a disgusting, racist way. No, I can't identify with Shelley as a person.
As adorable as I am.
She's totally out of Gina's head and my head. But no, it was a leap for me. But we love doing that, all of us, playing people we couldn't possibly be in real life.
And on the other side of things, Cleopatra, going back to what you were saying earlier about V, I mean, she is not one to back down from a challenge. She's a very powerful character. Can you talk a bit about her intentions and who she is outside of Sterling's assistant?
Yeah, well, I was trying to really look at V not so much through the lens of the scandal or the media, but as a character. And what I discovered was that she was a survivor. She'd someone that, you know, perhaps had come from poverty and you know, was looking for a place in the world to call her own. And the stakes were quite high for her. And that's, you know, what she's dealing with. She doesn't have a plan B. She doesn't have parents that can help her. There's really no one. And so that was my motivation in playing her, was as a survivor and as someone who absolutely needed to get to where they needed to be. And yeah, I relished the chance at playing someone that was powerful, and that instead of, most people would back down when faced with powerful individuals like that. And she absolutely did not. She rose to the occasion, and I don't think we'd all, well, obviously we wouldn't all be here had she not done that. So I think there's something quite iconic about that, actually.
You portrayed her so well. You guys all did a wonderful job, and I cannot wait for everyone to see this show, you know, and learn about what happened. But looks like it is about time for me to wrap, and thanks again for chatting with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we bad people?
Does it matter?